All right, we are live. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix this bad boy together. Guys, there's something that just happened last night in Salt Lake City that the media is mysteriously quiet about. Did you guys know that there was an attempted mass situation last night? Yeah, you didn't know that unless you were following me on my profile on X at Braden LOA. We reported shots were fired in. Basically, he said, heads up, check out what's going on over here. But the media is now silent and more details have come to light. And here's a high level of what just happened. Potential mass situation. Armed, concealed, carried individuals prevented it. And unfortunately, someone died from the inaccuracy of those concealed carry citizens. Guys, everything that we're about to walk through is going to be linked in the description box below. As you guys get in here, make sure the audio and the video is looking good for you guys. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on because this is about that freedom that we are spreading from this generation to the next. And thank you in advance for doing just that. All right, guys. So as you get in here, we're going to dive right in, but I want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. And please make sure you have the equipment, the awareness, and the training that you need. USCCA, in light of all the chaos that we have, has some free training available in your area. There's a link in the description box below. It's completely free and it isolates to your area and you can see what classes are available for you guys. Completely free. It's all certified. It's beneficial for you to know what's going on in the area, your physical, actual defense tools, but also the legal ramifications and all the legal statutes in your area. Check it out, link in the description box. And as we get in here, audio and video looks like it's getting in. You guys seem to be not getting the notifications, and I think we are good to go. 5x5, excellent, that's all I needed. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna jump over to my X profile on X, obviously, at Braden LOA, where we covered this last night. Okay, this happened around 9 p.m. Eastern time last night, and I posted it right here, 9:32 p.m. on June 14th. This is something that was breaking as shots were fired at the No Kings protest in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm going to play that clip for you really quickly so you know what we were talking about the moment that it came out. And this is why heads on a friggin' swivel, as I can tell you right there in that post. I'm going to mute myself, and then I'm going to show you the audio, which tipped us off. Check this out.
Oh my God, that's a gun. That's a gun. Come on. Come on. Get out. Get over here. Shay, come here. That was a gun. Okay. Okay.
All right, as you can see, I mean, people obviously reacted. That wasn't audio video edited in. The important thing that you have to do when we look at these things, and I'm sure you guys are all fully aware with this, you have to make sure that what we're hearing is not manufactured and manipulated, okay? So now, this was the actual Salt Lake City police reports of the exact instances, and I'm going to show you who was responsible for doing this, and we might get to the understanding of why the media is silent, all right? Check this out. Salt Lake City shots fired confirmed by Salt Lake City police 5 minutes ago. And here is the evidence request. This is actually from the police. Everything is linked in the description box below. The Salt Lake City Police is requesting information, photos, and videos of a shooting incident that occurred just before 8 p.m. on June 14th, 2025. That was last night. You didn't hear anything about this in the media. Almost like they're protecting a narrative. Watch this. So as we get into this, I started posting this as well. And again, this one, the audio is not that important, so I'm just going to play it without the audio. This is the individual being captured. Again, all of this stuff happened in real time last night. Check this out. What you can see here is someone being captured by the police who was involved, and that person will show you all the details here in a second. Now, the reason that this is so important is because it seems out of place. Something seems off with the entire thing. It didn't fit the profile. I even said in a follow-up tweet or a post on this same thing that the cadence sounded weird. It sounded like a handgun, and it was a slow cadence, something that was out of place. Well, more details are coming to light. Check this out. And guys, if you are just now getting in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, because this is one of those situations where YouTube is not sending this out, probably because it's a little spicier than they want. But that's okay. We got to talk about this. So this is from Costas Morris. This is a guy who I trust in the space. He's always providing good legal analysis. I believe he's with CRPA. Terrible situation in Salt Lake City, where two people providing some sort of private security for the protest confronted someone who was apparently about to begin a mass situation. They stopped him and likely saved many lives, but inadvertently killed an innocent bystander in the process, which is really sad. All right, let me show you the updates from the Salt Lake City Police Department. Then I'm going to show you who was doing it, and again, you might get into the, I wonder why they're not talking about it. Spread this out for that very reason. All right. They found a man crouching among a group of people with a gunshot wound. That man is identified as 24-year-old Arturo Gamboa. This is important because this is the Salt Lake City Police Department putting that name out. I'm going to show you all the connecting documents in a second. That man, I told you, he was dressed in all black clothing and wearing a black mask. Tell me when you start hearing and starting to sound familiar. As officers approached, community members pointed out a nearby firearm, which was described as an AR-15 style rifle. Officers also located a gas mask, black clothing, and a backpack in close proximity. Again, sounding familiar? The items were collected and processed by the Salt Lake City Police Department Crime Lab. Paramedics took Gamboa to the hospital. Detectives late night booked Gamboa in the Salt Lake County Metro Jail on the charge of murder. Okay? He got charged with murder. This is important for all the details here. Officers also detained two men who were wearing high visibility neon green vests and carrying handguns. Okay? These men were apparently part of the event's peacekeeping team. During interviews, detectives learned the two peacekeepers saw Gamboa move away from the crowd and move into a secluded area behind a wall. Behavior they found suspicious. Again, I'm just waiting for the media to start screaming about how concealed carry doesn't work. One of the peacekeepers told detectives he saw Gamboa pull out an AR-15 style rifle from a backpack and began manipulating it. Okay, the next one here is also from Salt Lake City Police Department. The peacekeepers drew their firearms and ordered Gamboa to drop the weapon. So he was caught, he was cornered, and drawn down on. Witnesses reported Gamboa instead lifted the rifle and began running toward the crowd gathered on State Street, holding the weapon in a firing position. In response, one of the peacekeepers fired 3 rounds. This is important because the video that I showed you right here was the original audio that we posted. Listen again. I'm going to mute myself. Listen to the audio, and you can actually hear what we're talking about.
Oh my God, that's a gun.
Okay, so that checks out. All these things are lining up. This looks like an attempted mass situation. Again, I'll get to the comments in a second. I see you guys. I can see you guys chatting over here. Here we go. In response, one of the peacekeepers fired 3 rounds, which we just confirmed for you. 1 round struck Gamboa, while another tragically wounded Mr. Liu. That's the guy who unfortunately died in this incident. He was an innocent bystander who caught a missed round. Okay. Detectives have not been able to determine at this time why Gamboa pulled out his rifle and began to manipulate it, or why he ran from the peacekeepers when they confronted him. Okay, we're just going to leave that under alleged at this point. The peacekeepers immediately attempted to provide aid to the injured bystander. Detectives are still actively investigating this case to include the actions of the peacekeepers. Detectives have developed probable cause that Gamboa acted under circumstances that showed a depraved indifference to human life, knowingly engaged in conduct that created a grave risk of death or ultimately caused the death of an innocent community member. Our detectives are now working to thoroughly investigate the circumstances surrounding this incident. We will not allow this individual act to create fear in our communities. That is the Salt Lake Police Department's statement. Okay? That confirms the video that we did on my X profile at Braden LOA, where we talked about that when it happened. Heads on a frickin' swivel. Get training. Get gear. Be aware of your surroundings. Guys, these are not your run-of-the-mill people, and I'm going to show you the connections right now. All right. Now this is the individual. Do you remember that name, Arturo Gamboa? Yeah, this is the same guy. I'm going to show you the image real quick. That guy right there, all black clad and basically captured by police. Shows you and corroborates rather, with this footage right here of them zooming in on the same guy. Okay? That's the same photo, same image. As we go into this, let me show you the connections. A radical leftist and Antifa supporter has been charged with murder after a man shot at the Salt Lake City No Kings protest died from his injuries. Now, here's where I'm going to say a really big disclaimer. That's his words. This account's not mine. I'm just going to show you the data and the resources, and you make up your own mind. You can let me know what you think in the comments. Arturo Gamboa was wearing all black, allegedly had a rifle. A No Kings liberal peacekeeper volunteer with bad aim tried taking out Gamboa, but instead fatally wounded a bystander. Afa Alu, pictured below in the portrait, died. Suspect Gamboa only suffered a graze wound. The peacekeeper has not been named, and police have not stated if he will face any charges. Again, you're not hearing anything about this in the media. All right, good. You guys still hearing it? So this is the guy. This is the guy without a shirt on after he's been grazed. It looks like a side graze. And oh my God, would you look at that? This is something that he retweeted. Same name, same everything. Antifa means anti-fascist. If you are an anti-Antifa, then you are pro-fascist. What if you're an anti-Antifa? How does that work? Anti-fascism is not an ideology or a group. It is the baseline for a human with any kind of moral compass. Okay. If you support Trump, you support a fascist. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And that guy, who we just showed you, grazed on the side, was retweeting that type of ideology. Let's go to the next one. This is the individual who was wounded and then ultimately was fatally suffered from his wounds, and it was a fatality from a indiscriminate shot. All right. Now, when we keep on going down here, this is the same kid. The man charged with murder in Salt Lake's No Kings protest. He was a drummer in the radical anti-government punk band. In an interview, he described himself. I don't really care about that part. That part's stupid. He's part of a stupid. He's a stupid musician. All right. Here we go. In an interview, Gamboa described the U.S. a steam train that's always been fueled by black and brown bodies. Wait for it. He also shared an anti-Trump post in support of Antifa on his Facebook page and made a post about how the electoral system doesn't work and how, quote, justice must be taken into the hands of the people by any means necessary. And again, here's the kid, the drummer from a punk rock band, probably just out doing scholarly activities. I don't care about this. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. That stuff's stupid. Again, same quote, same everything. Quit playing the electoral game. They use their two-faced tricks to pacify us. Justice must be taken into the hands of the people by any means necessary. Hey, uh-oh. Guys, this is what all the same post, same dude. Keep on going. There's a pretty questionable past here. Let's keep on going over here to Libs of TikTok. Appears the Utah No Kings protest shooting suspect Arturo Gamboa is an anti-Trump BLM leftist activist. Leftist political violence is out of control. Will Democrats condemn it? Again, that is their words. So I'm just kind of reading it. And they cite the exact same stuff. And I'm just showing you now because it's probably going to be deep sixed off of Facebook and you're never going to see it again. But this is the individual who we're talking about. And as you can see, there's the face. And where's that other picture of this kid on his side? Give me a second, I'll find it. There you go. Same little homeboy. So the reason that I'm covering this, guys, this was a situation that goes against every single thing that the mainstream media was telling you was the narrative with the No Kings rally. It was peaceful protest. Okay, well, things are still on fire and they're still doing it now. They're telling you that it was the biggest thing that you've ever seen on your whole entire world and that Antifa doesn't exist. Okay, there's that one. They can't tell you there's any violence because then that would undermine the narrative. There was literally an attempted mass situation, allegedly stopped by two people who were privately armed and had concealed carry licenses wearing green vests identifying themselves as security. Again, which flies directly in the face of guns are the problem, not people. This whole thing is a horrible nightmare for the media. They would never cover all of these things because a tragedy was averted and individual gun rights did it. And then you've also got the tie-in of the individual who is alleged to do this and who has been charged for murder by Salt Lake City saying all those things in his background and his history. All of these things are not being covered by the media. I'm gonna jump over in the comments here real quick, but that's what we're looking at, guys. I just showed you everything that we had. All right, let's see. Accidentally, no, that was on purpose. It looked like he just used a pistol off of the camera footage of him leaving the house. I don't know what that means. Mitch Connor says, call your senators, push for the SHORT Act and protect the HPA. More on that tomorrow, Mitch, 100%. I agree with that statement, absolutely. The Peacekeepers. Didn't get a notification. It never ends. Okay, some of these I can't read. I didn't get a notification. All right, so guys, you can overcome not getting a notification by sharing this out. Fox isn't reporting it either. That's because probably there's not enough details yet, and that's why X is so crucial. At Braden LOA, guys, we're coming up on 20,000 followers, and we're spreading stuff all the time. And the last thing that I will tell you on this, to wrap this whole video up, please be careful. The people that we are dealing with here are not your run-of-the-mill individual antagonist. This is not your mom and pop Democrats who make a sign and then go home to eat by the early bird dinner at 6 p.m. These people are orchestrated, funded, and organized by extreme elements. I've covered it. I've done videos. I've done it on my X. I've documented it. This is not a good thing to be involved around. This is different than what a lot of people think that it is. Anyway, I don't want to beat that drum again. I've already done a video on it. I will keep you updated on this. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.